So when we talk about confidence on the basketball court, I don't think we touch on that ball handling confidence enough. You hear a lot about confident shooters or confident defenders, but I doubt you've ever seen an elite ball handler look timid with the ball. They all kind of give off that air that they're confident, they know what they're doing, they're fluid, and they're pretty much ready for anything. And even though this can be a natural trait, I do think we can prepare for this in our training. So how do we do that? Let's check it out. So number one, and this is a general rule for me, you're not going to develop that unshakable confidence by sticking to the bare bones basics at all times, doing stationary crossovers that you can do in your sleep. So a lot of this goes hand in hand with the creativity that we talked about in the last video. You're stepping outside of that box. You're getting creative in how you challenge yourself, and you're being okay getting uncomfortable outside of that box. So how can we do this? Number one to me is training with chaos, over exaggerating how hectic that game gets. Because if we get prepared for more difficult situations, we're ready for almost anything. Nothing is really going to shake us in terms of how we're handling the ball. So even subconsciously, this can give us that confidence that we need to move more fluidly and just better overall. Number two are just freestyle drills, and I touched a little bit on these in that last creativity video. So I love these because they give you a bunch of challenging reps in different circumstances, and you're just kind of free flowing through these drills. You're giving yourself a ton of different reps, so your brain is like, hey, I have the experience, I've accumulated enough repetitions to be prepared, and this can really instill that confidence in you. Plus, and this may be a little bit confusing how I put it, but I want to create that difference between our general psychological confidence and our motor confidence is what I call it. Psychological confidence to me is a bit more temporary, right? We make a couple shots, we get really confident, but then in the next quarter we miss a couple shots and we lose that confidence. And this is gonna happen to everyone to some extent. But the thing that I call motor confidence, on the other hand, is a bit more permanent. It's your brain knowing that you're prepared for whatever, that you have a solution for every problem. It's what kind of gives off that confidence and fluidity of the best ball handlers. And this allows you to move freely and with confidence, to not be too tense in your movements, which ultimately prevents you from being that fluid ball handler. And you can just kind of tell when somebody has really high motor confidence. You can just look at them handle the ball and you know they have it. And part of this, and this is also what freestyles can help us do, is just learning to let go and dribble. Just flow. Now this is what we call an external focus. Not focusing on every dribble, where we put our feet, every single detail of how we dribble. Instead, we're just hooping. We're just kind of letting our handle flow. It's the same thing with shooting. If you've ever thought about flicking your wrist and tucking your elbow and every little detail of your shot, where you're trying to consciously will the ball into the hoop, every hooper knows that this doesn't work as well as when you're not thinking, you're unconscious, you're in that flow state. You've probably had your best games here. Every hooper has had their best games here, where they're just playing with that external focus, letting themselves hoop. And we can also get in this zone as we're handling the ball. It's not just shooting. You've had your days where you feel like you can't dribble because you're thinking about it too much. And then you have your days where you feel like you're never gonna lose the ball because you're in that rhythm, you're in that zone, and you're super confident in your handle. And this is one thing that I really believe freestyles do well, is just learning to let go, learning to handle the ball without thinking about anything else, learning to let your body and your brain just express that creativity. So building this confidence is why I have a ton of freestyle drills in my new ultimate ball handling program, whether this is dribbling to music or dribbling at different angles. There are a ton of ways that we attack this in this new program. So if you want to become the most confident, crafty, creative, fluid ball handler you can, go check out that program, put the link in the description, and let's get to work.